Hey all, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I am Darren, of course, and today I'm going to do another one of my regional hometown favorites from upstate New York, Cornell Chicken. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, if you're not familiar with what Cornell Chicken is, this is a different type of barbecue chicken that I grew up with in the summer. Summer times in upstate New York were really special because you had about 4 months of winter up there that were really bad. Heavy snows right off of Lake Ontario. So when summer came around, you could actually go swimming in Lake Ontario. We had as much fun as we could pack into it as we could. But one of the things I remember was barbecues, going to the park, Fairhaven State Park or Sodas Point Park, and having a barbecue. And a lot of times we would have Cornell Chicken. Also, they'd have the volunteer fire departments and the festivals. We'd have strawberry festivals and stuff where this was for sale. It really started a professor at Cornell University, and he was in charge of the agricultural division, and he was assigned a task to find a way to prepare chicken so more people would eat chicken. And this is what came from it, Cornell Chicken. It's a real simple recipe, but he used to sell this at the Syracuse, New York State Fair every year. They'd have a big booth, and it was Professor Baker's Cornell Chicken. And that's what they do, and I think they still might have it today, as far as I know. But you'll be able to find it anywhere up in upstate New York in the summertime for sure. So first of all, we're going to get the marinade going. Usually they did it with leg quarters or half chickens. I'm going to do half chickens today, and we're going to marinate it for a good hour or so before we put it on the grill. So usually what they did is they cooked this on a big open charcoal pit, kind of like the kind of pits you see when they cook whole hogs or something like that. But pretty much just a big pit with all these griddle or grates on there. So they could put the chickens on, and they would actually could flip them all over at once. So they'd kind of have like a grate on each side, and the chicken would be in between them. And then they would cook it for a while, and then they'd flip it over and cook the other side, and then take it off. And then they would marinate it or baste it with this marinade. So we're going to get cooking on the marinade real quick, so we can marinate it first. Then we're going to baste it while it's cooking with the marinade. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So this is the basic Cornell Chicken marinade. And if any of this sounds familiar to you, it's probably very similar to the Alabama-style barbecue sauce that you may have tried in the past, or you've seen me use in the past, where it's a mayonnaise-based sauce with apple cider vinegar and seasonings. Well, that's pretty much what the Cornell marinade is. It's actually oil and apple cider vinegar with an egg, so it's going to be like an emulsion, similar to mayonnaise, but not as thick. We're going to season it up with some poultry seasoning, black pepper, garlic, and a little bit other herbs. This is kind of optional, and some salt, and that's pretty much it. So first thing we're going to do is add, this is about 2.5 cups of apple cider vinegar and a little over a cup of just regular vegetable oil. And we're going to pour that into our container here, because this is what we're going to marinate the chicken in. I'm going to put about a little over a cup of water in here, just to give us a little bit more volume. And this is, you'll find the recipe below, but 1 egg. And like I said, this is because it's an emulsion. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of poultry seasoning. Now I made this myself. You can buy a regular store-bought poultry seasoning. I'm going to do just a little heaping tablespoon here, and about a teaspoon or so of black pepper. Not a lot. You want most of your seasoning to come from the poultry seasoning. I'm going to do about half a teaspoon of garlic herb mix here, and about 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, or I'm using pink salt here. And that's it. That's all the seasoning we're going to put in there. And it's like I said, it's an emulsion, so I'm going to use my stick blender here to get this all mixed up together. And make sure you don't make a mess here. But make sure you get all your seasonings mixed up. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look kind of creamy and frothy. You don't want to go too much on it. You don't want it to solidify it all on you at all. So just know that. If you want to take like about maybe a half a cup or so, or maybe a little bit more, maybe just about a cup out, and we can use this to baste the chicken. If you don't want to use what's been marinating in the chicken's been marinating in to baste it with, you can just reserve a little bit of the marinade itself before you put the chicken in, just so you have some to baste it with. Now this might not be enough, so I might have to add another bunch of it in there. So you want to make sure you got enough marinade to cover your chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put this in and see if it covers it. We can always flip it after it's been sitting in there for a while. Yeah, this will probably be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in the marinade. I'm going to do it face down, and then I'll give it about 20 minutes, and then I'll come out and flip it over so that it can sit in that marinade. And what that marinade is going to do, since it's got apple cider vinegar in there, it's going to, break down the proteins a little bit. It's going to make it so it's not really tough, and it's going to, some of that marinade is going to penetrate some of the meat. It's going to season it and all that. So, all right, we're going to leave it here for about 20 minutes, and I'll flip it over, and then we'll get our fire going, and we'll cook our Cornell chicken. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and flip this over a little bit. Continue to marinate this chicken. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my fire going. Like I said, I reserved about a half a cup of this for basting while it's cooking, but I'll probably use some of the marinade that's in this container too. I'm not really worried about salmonella or anything like that from the marinade, because it's going to get cooked off. I'll make sure that it gets cooked off. I'm just going to use lump charcoal, direct heat, not indirect, but with the hasty-bake I can lower and raise the charcoal basket. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start off low till it gets pretty good. I'm going to monitor it with the meat stick just in case, just so I know what the temperature is, but I'm going to be able to raise and lower the charcoal basket to control the heat a little bit so it doesn't get too burnt. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get the fire going, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, it'll take me just a couple minutes to get all that lump charcoal lit on the hasty-bake. Like I said, I love the hasty-bake because I get to lower and raise the charcoal basket. I'm gonna cook open flame here, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, I got my chickens ready to go. Took them out of the marinade, and I put a little bit more of that poultry seasoning on the skin just to give me a little bit more seasoning. My lump charcoal's all ready to go. I got my meat stick mini in the deepest part of the breast here on the biggest half here. So we're gonna go ahead and put these right on directly over the charcoal. Like I said, I do have my charcoal basket kind of set down in the cooker a little bit farther than I'm gonna have it later on. So, because I want this to kind of slowly cook and bring the internal temperature up. When it gets ready to get closer to being done, I'm going to bring the charcoal basket up, and we're going to cook it to get the skin all nice and crispy and get that char to it. All right, guys, I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, guys, internal temp's over 100 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and flip these and put a little bit of the marinade on to baste it, and I'll be back in a few minutes to check on them again. All right, guys, so it's getting over 120 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. I'm going to go ahead and raise my charcoal basket some, put a little bit more marinade on, and we're going to let it cook for just a little bit more. Let's finish it up nice, folks. That's what I really want. I want to get some of that really hot charcoal, crisping up that skin. So I got it skin side down right now. As you can see, since I opened up the lid, the charcoal's really kicking it up. Some of that fat's dripping in there, some of the marinade's dripping in there with the oil, kicking up the flames. So I adjusted the charcoal basket down a little bit more. That's what I love about the hasty-bake. I can adjust the charcoal basket when I need to, so I don't have to worry about it burning the food. So if I need it to go down a little bit because it's getting too close, I'll move it down. If it needs to go up, it goes up. So, all right, guys, I'll see you when this is done. I'm just about there. That's the kind of color I'm looking to get on these. Get them just nice, brown, crispy, looking good. They're almost a temp, guys. I'll see you again when I'm pulling them off the smoker here. Well, there it is, guys. That looks beautiful. Nice, and got a nice char to it. It's right at 162 degrees, what my Meat Stick Mini is saying. So this is what Cornell chicken is supposed to look like. A nice crispy skin, nice color to it. I'm gonna go ahead, this one got kind of turned around because the leg was kind of loose, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite out of this one, just so you guys can see. Whoop, get that out of there. Come on now. All right. Right there, we got a little skin, a little bit of white meat. Awesome. Brings back childhood memories, guys. The apple cider vinegar. It's a nice acid to it. The garlic and poultry seasoning makes it delicious. Check it out, guys. Try this for 4th of July. Cornell Chicken. It's been around for a long time. It's a staple at Upstate New York picnics and get-togethers. So I grew up on it. I love it. What can make it even better? Put a little bit of Alabama-style white barbecue sauce on it. Complements it real well. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again on the next Fire and Water cooking video.